lectures nationwide.
In the Federal Capital Territory, we require 282 SPOs, but we are training more than that number. We have added 70 to make it a total of 352. In case some are unable to make it on election day for one reason or another, we have a buffer. And what is happening in the FCT is happening in all the 6 states of the Federation.
Having the combined theoretical and practical aspect, or the practical simulation, provides the SPOs the opportunity to have like an all-round worldview of the entire electoral process.
INEC Chairman Professor Mahmoud Yakubu back to the classroom as it were, taking them through on the fundamentals of election and requirements.
Let me see by show of hands.
This is a national assignment and due diligence is required. An advice coming from Professor Mahmoud Yakubu to the staff.
Yeah, all of them are going to swear to an oath of neutrality. INEC is not a political party. INEC has no candidates in the election. Our commitment is to the process. We'll make sure that the process is what we said it should be, so that the choice made by Nigerians will determine who becomes whatever at whatever level.
Fortnight to a fair contest, and INEC promises to be an unbiased umpire. Mie Ogide, NTA News.
APC presidential candidate Bola Tinubu says his elected president of Nigeria will include an improved partnership with state governments to boost the country's economy. He was speaking at the party's presidential and governorship campaign rally in Benin Kebbi, Kebbi State. Musbah Abdan Wahab reports that there was another APC presidential campaign rally in Abuja.
Visiting Kebbi and FCT on the same day is perhaps an indication that the days left before decision time are fast disappearing. For the Tinubu Shatima campaign team, this is all in a day's work, as close to 4 million votes are at stake. In this frontier of the Northwest, the campaign team received expression of assurances from its supporters in Kebbi with their turnout. Bola Tinubu promised to develop the local agriculture sector, including the state economy.
We manage water projects and industrialization together to make sure that Nigeria becomes a leading agricultural country in this Africa. Allah ya nuna mana 25 ga wata, Allah ya maida kowa gida lafiya.
And when the campaign train returned to the Federal Capital Territory, on the ground where the candidate won his ticket, again, Asiwaju renewed his promises of instituting a government that will ensure the joy of democratic values by improving on the achievements so far recorded.
We are ready to make those changes and be more creative in a way that you definitely you will enjoy your tomorrow.
Courage and audacity.
Courage.
He spoke to power. Because of you. Who are you going to vote for?
Jagaban.
While the APC family promised to make Nigeria a country to be proud of, wives of the presidential candidates and vice presidential candidates appealed to the Nigerian electorate to support their party's candidates in the coming elections. In Abuja, Musbah and Wahab, NTA News.
A Fulani initiative for peace and orientation, Meyeti Halawalidira, has endorsed the presidential candidate of the People's Democratic Party, Atiku Abubakar, for the February 25th presidential election. Timothy Yusuf reports that the group's endorsement took place in Abuja.
Gathered in for a One Agenda Summit, showing their support for Atiku Abubakar in his desire to become the next president of Nigeria.
We are united by God's grace. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar will will be sworn and will be announced and sworn in as the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Serikin Fulani Nasarawa State and immediate past chairman of the PDP Board of Trustees, Senator Wali Jibril, chaired this summit. The choice of endorsement of Atiku Abubakar as the next president of the country by the group, he says, is the right way to go. Dam Madanin Adamawa and former Director General of the National Boundary Commission, Dahir Bobo, representing the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, agreed no less.
100%, and in everywhere in Nigeria today is the talk of the town.
He is the person that is probably that will give Nigeria the type of leadership that we all require to have peace, to live together.
Mieti Allah Walidira promised to deliver about 100.
Coalition for Transparency and Good Governance says the fundamental beliefs and philosophy of democracy and upholding the tenets of civil society engagement are working guidelines civil society groups in Nigeria need to adopt ahead of the general election. Salihu Gwanaham reports that the group addressed the media in Abuja.
Countdown to the February 25th presidential election. Innovative, informative, and promotion of good governance in Nigeria are what the group restated are the task of all in the project of building a lasting democracy.
Our focus at this point should be on how to help INEC disseminate accurate information to members of the public on issues relating voting and how best to participate in elections. Also, at this critical time, as civil society organizations, we should also be in the forefront of sensitizing the general public on the need of a peaceful elections, on the need of the sanctity of the ballot box, on the need for the preservation of our democracy.
Meanwhile, the All Progressives Congress United Kingdom branch says distance will no longer be a barrier or reason to disenfranchise its members in the diaspora. Some members are already back home taking part in spreading the renewed hope messages to the prospective voters.
We have mobilized our members from all across the globe, and about 20,000 of them are coming to come and vote for our principal, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
When you look back to his antecedent, you will realize that Asiwaju have done well for Nigeria.
So we encourage people coming back home by having a discount ticket, also, which we have a lot of people back home already.
The 2023 Tinubu Shetima Presidential Campaign Council Diaspora Directorate promised to remain relevant at home and in the diaspora. In Abuja, Salihu Gwanaham, NTA News.
We now pause for some messages. Panorama continues shortly. Stay with us.
The vaccine offers hope for a safe country free of coronavirus. I urge all state governments, traditional and religious leaders to take the lead in the mobilization in accordance with the order of priority already mapped out at the various authorized designated centers only.
Barely 2 weeks to general elections, stakeholders are putting final touches into ensuring a smooth conduct of the general election. Wasiu Rauf in this report considers the level of preparedness as well as readiness of INEC and other key players for the forthcoming polls.
As the forthcoming general elections get closer, major players such as INEC, political parties, security operatives, among others, are heightening efforts to ensure the smooth conduct of free, fair, and credible elections. The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, recently conduced.
We have done what we call a kind of peace accord
with all political parties, with their chairmen, and they've gone to sign peace accord with the headquarters, police headquarters, LA. And apart from that, all the communities have been contacted, religious bodies have been contacted towards the peaceful election.
With what the INEC has put in place, especially when we're talking of beavers, there has been a tendency in their readiness for the election.
We are 100% ready for the election. There is no going back. In fact, we won't want INEC to tolerate any call for the postponement of the election.
The Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, slated February 25th for both presidential as well as National Assemblies elections, while governorship and state assemblies elections are to hold on March 11 this year in Ibadan. Wasil Rauf, NTA News.
Joining me in the studio is HOD Voter Education, INEC, Oyo State, Rosemary Alaba Adeni. You're welcome to Panorama.
Thank you very much, Mr. Larry.
Okay, now, what is the level of preparedness of INEC for the forthcoming elections?
Thank you. Our level of preparedness for the general election is far gone, and I can assure you that we are very, very prepared for the general election, because so far so good. We have received all our non-sensitive materials, and as at yesterday, we started the training for the supervisors, the supervisory presiding officers. Okay. So we are fully prepared.
Beautiful. Just last week, mock accreditation exercise was held across the nation. What is your assessment of the exercise?
Yes, that exercise was a very, very good outing for the commission. It was a great success. A lot of people came out in the polling units that were designated for those exercises, and the beavers worked perfectly well. It captured the finger and the facials of the will-be voters, and so it was a great success for the commission.
Yeah, and talking about the beepating, any challenges as regards the beavers or handling by the officials?
Right now, we don't have any challenge with the beavers. It is going to work perfectly on the election day. And I want to assure the people at home and all over the world that the beavers has come to stay, and it will work 100% on the election day.
Beautiful. Now, let's look at the issue of voter education. Now, what is the position with the next effort in this direction?
The voter education is ongoing, and it is fully in top gear. We are collaborating with a lot of people to make sure that things go well in the area of voter education. Just yesterday, we had a town hall meeting with the women group, the gender people. And we also had this Braille, we taught the physically impaired people, the PWDs, how to use the Braille on the election day. We are interfacing with a lot of people, the CSOs, and all the general public on our voter education.
Before I let you go, what's the position with the movement of staff and materials to polling centers in view of the prevailing fuel situation in the country?
So far, we have collaborated with the PMS, the filling stations in Oyo State here. We have the filling station where we'll be using for the fuel problem. We already interface with the transport providers, and we are fully prepared, and we don't envisage any problem in any quarter.
Thank you very much. I've been speaking with HOD Voter Education, INEC, Oyo State, Mrs. Rosemary Alaba Adeni. Thanks for coming on Panorama.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Moving ahead, the Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, Brigadier General Dogara Ahmed, has reiterated commitments of the scheme to national development. He made this affirmation during a visit to NYSC Orientation Camp, Iseyin, Oyo State. Ayomiku Ajibola has the details.
The visit to Ishenyi orientation camp by the Director General, Brigadier General Dogara Ahmed, is part of his assessment of the situation at the NYC orientation camps across the country, in line with his desire to ensure security and welfare of corps members. On hand to welcome the Director General was a team of NYC staff led by Oyo State Coordinator Odoba Uche.
Being a member of the home, because he was a former military assistant to the then DG NYC, he has known what is the issue about the scheme. Therefore, it stands a better chance to fulfill what you think he can do.
The Director General outlined various developmental programs of the scheme aimed at empowering the corps members to contribute to the growth of the national elections.
The participation on election duty is optional, but I encourage them to be part of history, to give their quota. That is the contribution we can give.
Brigadier General Dogara Ahmed assumed duty as the 22nd Director General of the NYSC after his appointment by the President Muhammadu Buhari on the 30th of January 2023. From Ishenyi, Ayomiku Ajibola, NTA News.
Of Abuja in Ogun State can now have a sign of relief as the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, takes its cash swap policy to Ake community, facilitating circulation of the new Naira notes and checkmate negative activities of money agents. Yemi Dalimo reports.
Worried by the pains Nigerians encountered while trying to access the new Naira notes, the Central Bank of Nigeria, CBN, took its cash swap policy to Ake's Palace in Abeokuta, where bank customers had the opportunity to either swap their old Naira notes for new ones or withdraw money from super agents licensed by the CBN to disburse the new Naira notes. Bank customers commend the initiative, which they say is saving them from untold hardship are the ATM points and POS operators who charge exorbitant fees for withdrawal of cash.
It's even better. I like it and it's very fast. I do not use up.
What has done today is to further alleviate the suffering of the people.
The Apex Bank officials say the policy aims at promoting financial inclusion and afford customers access to seamless withdrawals and deposits.
Agents will get the notes, new notes from the banks, and they will now be exploiting the situation. We found out that is totally unacceptable.
Each person is entitled to take a maximum of 10,000 naira. If you bring your old notes, the agent will take the old note from you, and then you are given the new notes.
The Alaki and paramount ruler of Egba land, Oba Adedotun Aremungbadebo, commends CBN and urges the bank to further provide more succor for Nigerians to save the economy of the nation. In Abeokuta, Yemi Dalemo, NTA News.
Improving the quality of girl-child education is receiving a boost in Kebbi State with the renovation of blocks of classrooms, provision of potable water, and grants to encourage school enrollment across the 21 local government areas of the state. Abdullahi Umar Ilalu has the report.
Owing to the perennial challenges, the poor condition of many schools, low enrollment of the girl child, and the high financial academic burden, researchers say is a major factor hindering school development in Kebbi State. Maria Muhammad is a basic 9th class student of Comprehensive Girls Secondary School, Aleru.
I appreciate very well because before we did not have toilets, we did not have books, we did not have blackboard, and we did not have whiteboard instead of marker.
This is why the state government is collaborating with the private sector to improve schools' welfare and encourage girl child school enrollment.
The project had commenced implementation with the renovation subcomponent, renovation of school infrastructure, and the provision of water, sanitation, and hygiene facilities. So we have come to assess the level of implementation.
The DOE have renovated classrooms, provided potable water, and financial grants to less privileged students across the 21 local government areas of Kebbi State. For the benefiting school principals, it was a stitch in time.
We'll make sure that the facilities put in place, we'll use them judiciously.
Zamatari, Danware, and Jega, among others. Abdullah Omar Ilalu, NTA.
Let's now join Oche Ngbede on our sports deck for the latest from the world of sports.
Cup, wheelchair tennis in Portugal after a 2-set win against Morocco at the African qualifiers event in Abuja. Kafayat Omisore came from a set down to beat Najawat 1-6, 6-4, 6-3 in the second singles match to secure the ticket for Nigeria. Morocco, however, picked the second tickets following in over Team Nigeria in the men's category.
To try our possible best, we go back on and we work hard.
I'd like to especially thank the players. They gave it their all, and it came to pass that we are going to be in Portugal.
I'm happy, particularly as they played here in Nigeria, and I'm happy also for the Nigerian team.
To football, ahead of the CAF Under-20 Nations Cup, the Flying Eagles of Nigeria has intensified training as they look to engage in some international friendlies. The 7-time African champions will trade tackles with Central African Republic on Sunday and Congo on Wednesday. According to the coach, Ladan Bozo, the team is also looking to face Benin Republic and Sudan before leaving for Egypt, venue of the Biennial 8th grade event. The competition, which is expected to kick off February 19, will also double as the African qualifiers for the 2023 FIFA Under-20 World Cup, scheduled to hold in Indonesia. Still on football, Rangers will trade tackles with Doma United as Abia Warriors welcome Wiki Tourists of Bauchi. Other games will see Lobby Stars of Makodi welcome Dakada FC, while El Kanemi Warrior take on Aqua United, with a match against Remo Stars and Plateau United expected to be live on the NTA network and Sport 24 channel via Star Times at 4 p.m. And finally, in the English Premier League, 2 matches will be decided Sunday as Leeds